You don't want to get this on your hands. So the tools you are going to need, super duper simple. Now we work on a lot of Hondas, so we're going to reference this for a Honda. Pretty much every drain bolt on a Honda is a 17 3/8 ratchet. This is the oil filter tool. Now there is a million of them out there, right from look like oversized pliers to a thing with a fabric strap around it. There is everything. This is the one you want. This is it. I'm going to put a link. I found it on Amazon. There is a Chinese version and one that's made in the USA. As you see, ours is made in the USA. This is the best tool, period. I've tried them all. I've seen them all, tried them all. Tried everything from the oil filters that are rested on there or the people that actually over tighten them. This is it. I'm going to show you how it works. You should buy a bunch of these tools and resell them because this is it. Okay, so how this works, you are going to set your ratchet on loosen so that it locks this way. This here has the spring jaws. I'm going to kind of show you this here. And how this works is you stretch this, you put it over the filter, and then as you turn this counterclockwise, it actually forces these jaws together and grips the filter tighter. It grips the filter, it will not slip. The more pressure you put on it, the more it grips, but it's not going to destroy the filter. I've heard of some of these old school methods where you punch a hole through the filter with a screwdriver, and that's just a disaster waiting to happen. And it does, it usually screws everything up and makes a big mess. So this is a standard size Honda filter. This is the small one. This is not the one for your S2000. The S2000 behind me is getting oil changed, so I'm going to use that for my demonstration. Do not put this on your S2000, but I'm going to show you it on this. So basically, here's your filter on the side of the engine. You're going to expand this. You can do it one hand. You put it on here. It springs down. And then as you turn this, these jaws are gripping into that filter. The more you tighten, the more pressure you put on it, the more it grips that filter. It gets it off every time. I want to put a link to this because you have to buy this tool. Do your own oil changes. Do yourself a favor. Don't pay for this. It's such an easy thing, but it's such an easy thing to screw up. Let me show you the S2000 filter. S2000 filter. That is the part number. Let me focus on that. That's the part number. Don't buy anything else. Yeah, buy the Mobil 1 or the K&N, but make sure it's the large filter. This tool fits this filter, just. So you're going to expand this. Again, you do it one hand. It just fits the S2000 filter. See right here? Again, the more pressure you put on it, the more it grips the filter. The filter is going to come off every time. This is the tool. I'm going to put a link to it again. Alright, so this is what we're looking at under the car. Again, this is S2000. This is a brace. This probably isn't going to be on your car. But this is the oil pan. If it's a rear-wheel drive car, look for the pan closest to the front of the engine. That is usually the engine oil. Again, look around. Take some time to look around the engine. Make sure you know what plug you are taking off. Again, S2000, dead easy. We all know which one this is right here. And it even has, right here, says engine oil has an arrow. You literally can't mess this one up. Okay, so once you have your drain bucket in position, you're going to break this 17 loose. Now, as you loosen this, you're going to see there is a drain washer on there. Let me get an angle so you can see. Okay, you see the drain washer there is actually up against the bolt. Now, I'm going to tell you to replace this. You can buy it from Honda. I think they charge you 50 cents, or maybe your Honda dealership is nice enough to give you one. But if you don't have one and at this point you're changing the oil, you can reuse this. Take it off, clean it, wipe it off. Make sure it's in pretty good shape, but don't drop it in the bucket. So if it's stuck on the pan, get a screwdriver or a razor blade, kind of pull it away, and it'll usually sit on the bolt. So we're going to drop our plug right here and drain our oil. So here's a perfect example of the oil that is being in there too long. I tell people all the time, change your oil. See how dark this is? I like it to come out where it's a really dark gold, where it's almost transparent. When it's jet black like this, That's no good. It's been in there way too long. Also, this car is getting some other work done at the same time, and this is part of our service. Well, looking at the speed of it coming out, it kind of tells me there's not a lot of oil in it. So I'm going to take a look in my bucket when it's done, see how much oil is in there. Okay, so this is a Honda, so it's getting a Honda filter. It's an S2000, so this is the filter to use. Now, my oil choice is Mobil 1. This isn't a commercial for Mobil 1, but this is my preferred oil. I run it in everything. This is kind of a higher mileage car, so we're running 1550 in this. In the Mobil 1 brand, this is one of the oils that even GM recommend for track racing because it has a little higher zinc content. But whatever oil you choose, whatever is your famous oil, whatever you like, whatever someone's convinced you to run it, but change it regular. So we're down to a little small dribble. Well, you can be super OCD and let this thing sit for 4 days until every last drip comes out of it. Not really saving yourself anything on the change. It'd be better to let it drain for 10-15 minutes, put the plug back in, change the filter, put your fresh oil back in. That last little bit isn't really doing you many favors, but again, if this was me, yeah, I let that sit for 30 minutes, so that's just me. So this is your drain bolt. Make sure you just clean it off, make sure it's in good shape, make sure the threads are not chewed up. Put your new washer on there, and you're ready to put it back in. Okay, so now we're going to take the oil filter off. This is how I found the easiest way. Usually it's tied up there, you're not going to get both hands up there. You're not going to get one hand on this and situate this and put this on. So what I would do, put this on here, and you're going to pull this down and hold it either with your thumb or your finger like this. That way you can reach up there, put it on the filter, let go of your finger, it'll collapse onto your filter. So if it's in the wrong position, again, just open it like this, pull it down, that way one finger. I'm going to hold the camera in one hand and put this on with the other so you can see what I'm talking about. It is on the passenger side of the engine. It is almost directly up from the drain bolt. There it is right there. So I'm going to do this one-handed. Again, a bit more, less room with the bar installed, but you're going to slide this on. So there we are, there's our tool on there. So what you're going to do is use this to break it loose, like a quarter to a half a turn. Once that's broke loose, you'll be able to tip the filter off with your hand and then let it drain. What kind of is annoying is these bars, usually the oil drips onto these bars and then sprays all over the place, so it's not going to go directly in your bucket. But when you break that filter loose, you will see oil will actually come down the block and it will run out in a close proximity where your drain bolt is. So if you put the bucket in the same place, you'll be able to catch that oil without a problem. There it goes. See, it's coming out almost where the drain bolt is. Look at that. I couldn't be much closer than that, could I? So with an adequate sized bucket, you're not going to have this all over the driveway. Okay, so next step, oil filter's off. Here's your new filter. Just a word of warning, when you buy these, it wants to be sealed. It has plastic all the way around it. It's heat shrinked, it's heat wrapped, it's got the Honda sticker on it. If this is torn, if this is like this, you don't want it. Tell the guy, give me another one, this is no good. Why? Well, first off, you don't know if something fell in there. Maybe something by accident, maybe whatever. Or maybe somebody dropped something in it. Maybe someone has a strange mindset, but you don't want anything in here. It wants to be absolutely clean, so leave this sealed until you're about to use it. If it's torn, throw it away. You don't want to use it. So this is what we do here. And again, it's overkill, but we are overkill. We're almost OCD. So basically what we're going to do is put some oil in here. You're not going to fill it all the way to the top because on the S2000 it sits here. So if you put too much in, it's all going to run out. Reason we put a little bit of oil in here is it helps prime the system, which means when the oil is back up in the oil pan, you hit the button or turn the key. As the engine is cranking, it's building oil pressure. It has to fill Basically, the oil pump usually comes from the oil pump directly into the filter. It has to fill the filter, and then it pushes the oil out and starts to circulate. If you can get a little bit of oil in here, it speeds up that process, which means you have oil pressure much earlier. So pretty simple how we're going to do this. Pick up some of your favorite oil, whatever it is: Mobil 1, Royal Purple, Redline, GTX, Walmart Special, Kmart Racing Oil, whatever it is, whatever's on sale, whatever it is, change it. So basically we're just going to get some of this and dump about 2 or 3 ounces in there and let it sit for a minute. That is actually going to sit and settle. It's going to fill up the element. It'll actually soak in there. As I'm talking here, that oil level is actually dropping. It was up to the top and it's soaking in. Then what you can do is kind of rotate this thing around and get it to fill up all the holes. Again, you don't have to go crazy with this. It's just something we do. Also, you'll notice on your oil filter, and sometimes your oil will tell you to put a little bit of oil on the seal. The reason is so that next time you change it, this doesn't become glued to the side of the block and either damage itself coming off, or this gets to a point where it's so stiff you can't get the oil filter off. So some of this oil, again, you don't need a ton. All you're going to do is put a thin bead around there. Okay, next thing, before you start sticking your arm up in the hole with this, rubbing it around the side of the engine, rubbing this and getting all the dirt off the engine all over the seal and all in the filter, which defeats the thing in the first place, put your hand up there and feel where the thread is. There is going to be a mill thread sticking out, which this screws onto. Get an idea where that is. If you have to, get your hand up there first, put it in, put it over the thread, line this up, and then you'll feel this rocking on that thread there. Don't rub this all over the side of the block. You'll get sand and junk and gunge all in the filter, so you're going to ruin the engine. You may as well leave the old oil in if you're going to do that. So that is something, I can't get the camera up in the hole and show you, but that's something you got to pay attention to. Okay, so the new filter is up and tight. Everyone is going to tell you a different way to tighten this, what to tighten it to. I'll tell you what I use. I use my hand. Tighten it as tight as I can get it by hand. I don't put a wrench on there or a tool. If you over tighten that thing, you might not get it off the next time. So your filter's on, double check your drain plug, in fact triple check your drain plug. And again, the filter, look on your owner's manual. Everyone is going to have a different procedure. Some of them have a torque spec, some of them have a degree. Again, I do it by hand. So you're going to put in your favorite oil at this point. If you have a funnel, now would be the time to get that out. I typically don't use a funnel. I've been pouring oil for a long time. It's not making me an expert or anything. Now, just a quick word of advice here. This is the way you typically pour your oil. If you do it this way, you get the glug, glug, glug. As the oil comes out, you gotta have air coming in. If you pour it this way, it pours smoother, but it's very, very difficult to pour because your oil fill is here and oil is going to come out of here, which means it's going to usually blow right past your oil hole. So this is my preferred use pouring. That way you can get the oil out here, air goes on here, no glug. So put your oil back in. Can't really tell you how to put oil in, can I? So look in your owner's manual. S2000 takes 5.1 quarts. What I do is I put in a full jug of this. Hey, look at that, 5 quarts. Run the engine, run it for about 5-10 minutes, shut it off, give it 5-10 minutes, pull the dipstick, measure on the dipstick. The dipstick will tell you exactly how much oil you want in there, not the container dumping it back in. Let's say there is a little bit of oil in there, which there is. There's so much in your oil pan, and also a little bit in your oil pump and all the way around the engine. If it doesn't drain all the way down, there's so much in your cylinder head. You put 5.1 quarts in, let's say there is 2, maybe 0.3 quarts in there, you're going to overfill your oil. Change your oil every 3,000 miles. If you track your car, change it every track day. As soon as you're done with the track, change your oil and filter. Don't be cheap. And use Mobil 1 oil. Hope you enjoy the video, guys. If you do, subscribe, comment, tell me what your favorite oil is. Tell me where I messed up. Tell me that you like it, you don't like it. But hopefully, I'm saving you some money and some time.